Hello, good morning from Denmark. Here we are with today's Ascension Runes class. And today we are working with Bjarka. Now, just jumping onto Facebook. I'm going to click about there. How have your weeks been? It was the equinox yesterday, autumn equinox here in the Northern Hemisphere. Spring equinox in the Southern Hemisphere, if any of you are watching from there. And the energies felt really chaotic going up to it. None of us were sleeping very well in this house. And then yesterday, it felt nicely settled down, felt that equal balance. And then today, I feel like a ton of bricks has fallen on my head. So there's me, there's where I am this morning. Okay. So, right, we're all happening there. A little bit of water. The temperature's really going up and down here massively during the day. It's about 10 degrees in the morning when you get up, and it's going to be 25 this afternoon. But I think it's all gone tomorrow. We're back to autumn, proper autumn tomorrow. So I'm going to get out this afternoon and I'm teaching a new class on Saturday. Healing with Sarah and the Angels. It's initiation system. I'm really excited about it. So I'm going to sit outside and work on that this afternoon, because that sort of work I actually do better outside, and it's nice because I can sit with a notepad and pen. I don't need the computer, so I can sit and work happily way outside, and I love that. I don't get outside enough. I'm sure many of us feel like that. So today, runes, Wednesday morning, runes morning. So I start off with singing in the Wheel of the Runes. It's the Elder Futhark. There's 24 runes, and I'm going to sing them in 3 times. So just imagine the energy is building up around you as I do that. I'm going to do that first before I jump into anything else, talk about anything else. Okay. Feel the power of the runes that are around you in a circle. Each of these runes holds a part of the energy of the cosmos. So sitting within these runes, we can come more into balance and harmony and be centered, sitting at the center of the circle. And it's really good to drum or rattle or clap or even bang 2 sticks together when you're singing the runes, because what it's doing is helping like break up your stagnant thought forms around you, stuff that needs shaking up. And then the runes come in and they bring in powerful, pure energy of the cosmos and of the divine. You just feel yourself really grounded and centered in the center of that circle of runes, the wheel of runes. Lovely. That's what we want. Okay. Let me just have a little look on here. So, this is Bjarka. It means birch. There's different types of birches, but one of them is the silver birch. That's the one that we know quite a lot. It's a very sacred tree here in Scandinavia. It's used a lot in healing and magic. And if we look at this, we can see perhaps why people think of it as the divine feminine straight away when they see it, because it's like breasts. Or you can see it as a pregnant woman. Or you can see it as two mountains. But of course, these runes, they all have a divine feminine and a divine masculine side. I'll go more into what it means after we've done our journey today. And so we always do a journey to connect, or a meditation, whichever word fits you best, to connect to the energy of the rune. And you can do this. I will play some drums in a moment. And then you can either sound the name, so you can sound Bjarka, 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 Bjarka. You can sing it, Bjarka, 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 in any way that you want to. If you like to visualize, you can imagine that you are breathing that rune in and out of you, or you can imagine that it's forming its shape over you. I like to sit and hold the rune, and you don't need to have a rune set to do this. You can write it on a bit of paper. You can write it on your hand even. I like to sit and hold it in my hands. I go into a quieter space and I simply open up to the energy of the runes and see what happens. So if you haven't worked with this rune before, just allow yourself to meet its energy for the first time. I am going to work with it from the perspective of our ascension and evolutionary journey that we are going through at the moment, the Earth and humanity, and ask for information from that perspective. So where's my drums? Get them going. Okay, so about 5 minutes journeying, and then we'll meet together at the end, and I'll talk a little bit more about whatever's come up. Okay. Okay, so just bring yourself back. Make sure that you're nice and grounded. Bring yourself back to your full levels of consciousness. Have a drink of water if you need one. Okay. So, if you want to share what you experienced, if you're on Facebook, please do. We all will get something different because a lot of it is what we need for today, particularly from that room. And if you're tuning in and working with this room today, you will get something that is very much for what you need right now. Okay, so I'm going to read you out Jörn Eriksson. You can buy this book from Amazon or from his website. He's a Swedish guy. Bjarka. This rune is also called the birch rune. It is the rune of Mother Earth, and it represents the totality of everything that is growing on her. It is a mighty earthly female power. It stands for Frigg, the earth and mother goddess, and for nature, growing power and nourishing soil, for different natural and fertility beings such as black elves and Desir. Bjarka represents healing herbs and healing power, sometimes personalized as ear. That's EIR. It stands for womanliness, birth, maternal love and care. Bjarka tells us we should treat the earth and all its beings with humility and respect. Since this is the rune of growing power, it also points to our ability to grow spiritually and magically and our ability to support others. Inversely, so like in its opposite aspect or in its shadow aspect, it can indicate insufficient contact with nature, illness and self-assumed martyrdom. The dark aspect implies an overstress of the undemanding maternal love, something that might lead to self-effacement. And I think that means like, you know, doing yourself down, not giving yourself a lot of care. So that's Jörn's take on it. So when I've worked with Bjarka, when it comes up in readings for myself and other people, it does often come up to talk about that need for self-nurturing, to be a mother to yourself. But I think we have a fairly limited idea of what a mother is. So when I was tuning in today, I was getting the feeling of like the ancestral mothers like behind me. And it's a really strong, powerful energy. It's not a sweet energy. It's not like, oh, they're going to come and give me cookies and milk. And you know, if we look at nature, we see quite a different image, perhaps, of mothers. Each species is a mother in a different way. And you know, like just think of tiger cubs when they're getting out of hand. And I'm not saying that we should do this to our children, but a mother tiger will like give it a bit of a knock around the ear, say stop that. You know, there's a discipline and there's a learning, there's a guiding, there's a teaching. And we see that a lot in the animal kingdom. And that's what I was feeling from the ancestral mothers. I was feeling like it was like this vast, overseeing, watchful presence, sort of seeing what we're doing and giving us sage advice. There's no sentimentality, there's no softness to it, but it is still a very strong ancestral mother energy, but it's another aspect of the mother. So, you know, depending on the day and depending on, you know, what the message is, this can give very, very different sort of feelings and senses and messages. And because, you know, sometimes mothers can be really fearsome if they need to be, if they, you know, if we think of like an energy, a mother energy, like protecting the earth and things aren't going so well, perhaps she's going to be quite fearsome and sort of like, you know, sort this out rather than come and have cookies and milk and we'll talk about how bad things are. So, you know, just making some suggestions there. So, is there something else? Another aspect I just wanted to talk about with the birch tree is that it's used magically. It seems to be quite a lot for cleansing. I've made up a birch broom. It's a bit of a fusion between modern and ancient. I bought like we have a shop here called Tia. I think they just changed the name last year to the Flying Tiger, but it's a Danish shop, and they sell lots of cheap and cheerful stuff. And I bought like a purple net broom that's supposed to be for like fancy dress, and I bought that. And then the net's tied to the broom with ribbons, and then I inserted lots of birch twigs into it, and then I use that. Like if something needs cleansing, like I was cleansing my ancestral line, not entirely, of course, it's a work of many lifetimes, and I made a circle of scarves, and that was representing the ancestral circle, and then I swept it all, and then I swept it out through the door and out off the balcony. It's really good to do these physical things, just to say that cleansing and also protective energy, that's also very much belonging to the mother, the great mother. I'll be back next week. What's the next one? Is Jahre Petra Jo Augisol to Bjarka A. So A, that's shaped like the M. That's a great one to get into. If you want to watch recordings of where we've got to so far, I have a playlist on YouTube on my Rachel Goodwin channel. You can go to the headings on the Ascension Runes Facebook page, click on it there. Got a YouTube title, click on it there, it'll take you to it, and then you just click on it again to go to YouTube, or you can just go to the YouTube channel and look at the playlist and find it there. I'll also teach you how to sing the Wheel of the Runes. Something else just popped into my head and then popped out again. I think it's gone. Have a great week, everybody. And I've taught my first class when I come back next week for the Sarah and the Angels healing system. So looking forward to that. I'll tell you how it goes. Bye for now. Bye.